Hello everybody, this is the Angry Belgian and welcome to my review of The Elder Scrolls Online. Now, as this game had a lot of hype behind it, because it's an Elder Scrolls game, we all know how big the name is, I have to say the game really let me down, and I'll say why, also point out good stuff in the game too. Now, the first notable things is, it's an Elder Scrolls game. You can choose whatever weapon you fight with, which is one of the many things Elder Scrolls does good. I really enjoy being able to choose whatever weapon I want. I can choose a bow, I can choose a greatsword, I can choose sword and shield, dual wielding, with any class you want. But there's a but. There are classes in the game, sadly enough, which I'm very sad to see. As a Templar, okay, you got a little bit of magic, but not much. While as a, let's say a sorcerer, now, a sorcerer has a lot of magic, of course, but even then, I don't like the classes, how they're built. The sorcerer only has a limited amount of magic it can use. You sit with, skill bars now. And I'm like, wait, this just feels like any other MMO out there. And it does. There's nothing special about this game. None whatsoever. There are little details that make it a little bit more fun than other games, but also other details that make it more boring. For example, the questing system. Nothing new there. Yeah, especially because it's a PvP based game. I don't understand why they put so much PvE in it then. Because they really focus on Cyrodiil, which everybody that looked up stuff on Elder Scrolls Online will know Cyrodiil is the place where all the PvP is. All the other, regions, like Morrowind and all that, are just for questing. Sadly enough, I would love to fight on, the Summer Isles, where the High Elves are, but, yeah. What also annoys me really much, a lot actually, is you had a pre-order to play with every race on every pack. Why? That made no sense at all. I didn't get that. The Imperial, was locked to the Imperial Edition only, and I found, while it may only say this and that for those specific races, it's not always true, because with what I've currently experienced, my Imperial, which normally should only give me a lot much more money and much more experience, also gives me more, mana regen than a High Elf. And High Elves are known normally to have the highest mana regen. Apparently not. Might be a bug, they might fix it, I don't know, but currently it's unfair to play actually as an Imperial. I still did it for my first character. This is my second character to try out, the Ebonheart bag, because for me, the questing system is boring, is nothing new to it. It's tedious, it's do this, do that, do this, just like every other MMO. I want to see something new, a new questing system. Leveling is about the same as any other MMO. You spend points on skills and that's about it. Spend points for health, mana, and stamina. That's the same as the previous Elder Scrolls game, Skyrim. I do like the feel more about this game, the graphic feel. Like, Skyrim was a very dark game. You can't turn it however you want. It was a dark game. Now what I do not like is the picklocking system. They are like, as you can see now currently, is they simply just throw you into picklock this, and you don't know how to do it. There's no tutorial. You basically have to fail first, and then they'll tell you. But I'm like, wait, you're only just telling me that right now? You couldn't tell me that in the beginning of the game? Also, another system that I really don't like, but Elder Scrolls games are really known for it. The crafting system. It's very tedious. And because it's an MMO, it becomes even worse. Because everybody that ever played an MMO with the crafting system will mine this much iron ore somewhere in the world know that all the iron ore spots will probably get canned by people that can play all day long and are just grinding it so you can't get it. I don't like such facts. Now, I do have to say the server connections are really good. I never really had any lag with the server itself. I did have lag spikes because of the game engine. The game engine at the moment is really unstable, and I've had lag spikes which kind of annoyed me. You probably already have seen one. That might be something they'll have to fix, or maybe it's a driver issue on my end. I can't say for sure yet, but it is quite annoying. I do skip past every quest really most of the time because I've done these ones before. This is a starting character in the Ebenhard Pact, and I've done the battle with the Ebenhard Pact. I thought with the official release, let's try. The pack that everybody said was so much better. The Altmary Dominion, I don't like them either. They're a little bit better, but no. Now, what's also really unfair is people that got the Imperial Edition can buy a horse for 1 gold coin at the beginning. If you didn't buy it, you can't get it. You have to pay thousands of gold coins to get a horse. Now you get coins pretty fast when doing quests, but grinding coins is not really much an option. And it's quite unfair because you can abuse it. Because with a horse you travel a lot faster. And this character I specifically did not buy it. I can buy it. I can buy it with any ways I want because I own the Imperial Edition. Now, what I also don't like is the way they're handling the game at the moment. Okay, great, there's a European mega server. Fun and all, but as a European player, I don't understand more than half of what is said in the chat. Why they don't do like ask in the beginning which language you speak and then put you with those people. I don't really understand that. This might be something Bethesda looked over, or they just don't care. But that would have made my gameplay a lot better, because then I would have been able to communicate with people that only speak English, or like, let's say my mother language, Dutch. But no, let's put me in a game with people that speak Spanish while I don't even understand that language. And it's a language I've seen quite often. English too, of course, luckily. So, French. Of course, there's French, it's a European game. But those are a few issues that really bother me, and that's with most MMOs. But even for being an Elder Scrolls game, I would have expected more. Because basically, with the other Elder Scrolls game, Bethesda was bound to lore that already existed. But with this game, there was no bound lore. There was nothing really written in books about this area. About this era. They could have done whatever they really wanted with Moloch Ball. Of course, that was written, Moloch Ball, blah blah, this area, but that was about it. And they chose to do this. 3 packs, which most of them won't even work together. Because if anybody knew anything about Elder Scrolls lore, they know these races can't work together, that the Altmary Dominion is fully ruled by the High Elves, which is also said in the beginning of the game. So that's nothing new there. But the Ebenhard Pact, what I didn't get is, why not let it work with Bretons? No, let's work with Dark Elves. Wait, what? That made no sense at all for me, because the Norse and the High Elves don't see eye to eye at all. And these are not the only issues I have with it, but like the same way let Bretons work with Orcs. Orcs would work with nobody because they're constantly fighting over their own country. The thousands of tribes they have fight with each other, so... Now, there are a few touches that I do like, is if you like completed a quest, the environment around that quest area sometimes will change. I've had that happen a few times. And that's a nice touch, only I can see it, not the other people, and that's fun to see, that not many, MMOs have that, except of course the only one that I can really say that I have that, but that was only in specific, if you call it phases, was Star Wars The Old Republic, and I've played my share of MMOs, I've played a lot of them, so... But there's also a few other issues with this game. The combat, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's certainly not really impressive. Okay, it's fun, you can wield many different weapons, but the animations are almost non-existent. In the video I currently run with standard stuff, but actually in the game itself, when I play for not for recording's sake, I actually enable an add-on which constantly shows me my health, mana and stamina. Also how much damage I do, how much experience I got, because if I want to know my experience right now, I would have to go to the menu, which makes no sense at all. Why would I want to go to the menu to see my bloody experience, as you just have seen? These are all things that make no sense at all. I don't know what Bethesda / ZeniMax, which basically is the same company, was thinking with this game. I don't know why they produced an MMO. I rather would have seen an Elder Scrolls 6 with the caliber of Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Morrowind was a really decent, well-made game. A lot of features were really well done in it, because this game again has the same issues as Skyrim had. You accomplish something in a game, and only those characters you accomplished it for will acknowledge you. The other ones do not. And it's like, hey, I've become the headmaster of the College of I forgot the name. It's Skyrim, but that was in the Skyrim game. Nobody ever knew that, or you saved everybody from a big badass dragon, Alduin, and nobody ever knew. This game has the same issue. For the most part. Let's keep that because I've had that in certain regions. If you complete a quest before that, they don't even know about it, and they still refer you to that person, and then you have to do that. And then there's a tiny quest of, you finish that, talk to that person now. And it's like, wait, I just talked to her, why do you have to talk to her again? And these are checkmarks that are not well executed. But of course what you see, the layout is typical an Elder Scrolls game. I will not say that's a bad thing. The quest tracking system could have been done better. A lot better in my opinion. Also the reason why I'm currently not using a shield and a sword on this character is because it's a Nord. If I use a two-handed weapon, I get more experience with it. It levels up two-handed a lot faster. What I also noticed a lot in this game is the voice acting. It's below average in my opinion. They probably spent, again, like they did with Skyrim, a lot of money on maybe 2 or 3 major voice actors, and all the rest are like cheap ass voice actors. That's all I can say it as. I was looking at a way to not make it sound as bad, but it sadly enough is. As a game, that probably was a lot of money invested too, like they did with Skyrim. Because I'm of the opinion now Skyrim basically was just a cash grab for, financing this game. That's what it looks like for me. And it does feel a little bit more like Oblivion, but still also a bit like Skyrim. The crossbreed between the two really bothers me a lot. I don't know what they thought when they were doing this, but the service stability really good. The launcher is a disaster, because although it is pretty fast, it is not slow. But I have one big issue with it. It's like, I've downloaded all the files, why am I only at 10%? Oh, it's applying the patch. It's at 50% and then it just jumps to 100. It does not give you an estimated time of when it will be done. It is... yeah. And for some reason also, because I wanted to go play on the NA, so because most people speak English there of course. And then it was like, you have to download 20 gigs, and I was like, wait, what? The game is big enough already, how come I do not have the American files? It's just English. But apparently not. And then I'm thinking, Have they changed the game so that the American stuff works differently? I don't know. But that's again a node which I do not get. And you also have to change to which server you want to connect in the launcher. Apparently you can't do that before, yeah, connecting with your account. So, if you would have to ask me, is the game worth buying? Okay, buying I might agree to, but not its monthly subscription. It's certainly not worth a monthly subscription, because there's not enough content in the game. There are better alternatives out there at the moment. A lot better. One of them is Guild Wars 2. It's just buy to play. Well, this game really is sort of a, for the moment, it's like buy special edition and you win. Yeah, it's what I don't get why they did that. This is probably the cash grab again. It's Bethesda, they are known for doing cash grabs lately, which kind of annoys me. Oh, also this system does not work at all. Because you disguise yourself. How can a bloody person know I'm not part of it? It just doesn't make sense. I could see the questing system. No, thank you. It is nice, it shows you the value with coins next to it, but still. Leveling in this game, if you don't do quests, is boring as hell. I would say even more boring than a Korean MMO. Which, referencing to a Guild Wars MMO, if you manually have to grind your way to the max level, is so tedious. You'll get bored within a week and you're still not max level. If you're a normal person playing a game, not if you're like all the time at home, because if you're all the time at home it's a lot easier, but if you have to work and all that, you can't really invest much time in this game, and this game really requires you to grind a lot. Yeah, the problem is, most of the time when people that have work, school can play, they have issues with this game then, because then every person is online, grinding everything, so you can't get the good loot. Not a smart move. They should have thought of it differently. Well, the PvP in this game, I've tried it. It's not the best I've ever seen. It's better than, yeah, let's say for examples, World of Warcraft or Star Wars: The Old Republic, but that's not difficult to do. Those games, their systems are ancient. This is supposed to be better. It's from 2014. This year, it's supposed to be new. Well, there's nothing in the game I would say is new. There's nothing groundbreaking. Nothing that compels you to really play the game. Unless, of course, you would really want to see the entire campaign through. But most of the time, you don't really want to, and you just skip forwards, so you don't have to listen to the mediocre voice acting, to the horrible stories written. The only reason why you would ever want to play this is to give it a try, to be honest. And that's the only reason why I really played this game. Luckily for me, I didn't really have to buy it. That made it a lot easier for me, because otherwise I probably would never have bought it. Because the beta already said to me, this game is not going to be much fun. And they're again proving this. So, if Bethesda is going to stay with just this MMO, I will never ever touch a game from them again. Because I don't really hate them, but bringing out something like this is just something I can't agree with. Because I invest money into it. I want to see good stuff, finished stuff. This does not feel finished. The graphics, it's okay. I don't get why they didn't try to make anything special. Because people like it looks really good. No, it actually looks pretty bad. Okay, it's an MMO quality, but why don't you try to put your boundaries? Because this is our maximum settings. My graphics are full open. My graphics card can handle it as long as it's not in a dense area, because then of course I'll get below the 120 FPS. I'm always above 120 FPS. Sadly enough, you can't see it in the video because my recording currently does not support up to 120 FPS. If I want to do that, I'll have to use a special program, which for some reason makes the game lag really hard. And this again is another example of what's not new in this game. The death system. It's revive here or go to waypoint. That felt too much like a bloody World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had the same system. Find your body, resurrect her, or do it out of Fallen Angel. What you could see here is a Ray Shrine. So, or whatever it was again, it's been a long time since I last played it. So, my final verdict for this game, if I had to give it a score on 10, would be a 6.5. And that's me being pretty mild, but that's all it can get for me. Sadly enough, I had expected more, since it was an entirely new team behind this game. It was not one of the old Elder Scrolls games. They had so much potential, so much money behind it, and this is all they delivered. I do hope in the future there will be more to this game. Since it's an MMO, I hope they will keep on supporting it, but I will see it go to the free-to-play model, because it will suffice them a lot more, bring them in a lot more money than this does, because even now a lot of people are not playing this game because of its subscription model. You have a lot of good games that are free to play out there. Why would you ever go to this game then, if you have a free to play game that gives you more value for being free? And that's the issue with this game. If they go free to play or just buy to play, like they did with what's the name again, Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars, then it might work. But currently I would say not buy this game, do not subscribe, wait for the future, and we'll see how the game develops. If the game changes much, if it goes to maybe the free-to-play model or the pay-to-play, I'll make another video about it. I'll look at them, but at the moment I would say stay off it and just wait what the future holds. This is the Angry Belgian. I'll see you in my next review.